This new year, why not let Audible expand your life by listening? Explore over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive Audible originals that'll inspire and motivate you. Tap into your well-being with advice and insight from leading professionals and experts on better health, relationships, career, finance, investing, and more. Maybe you want to kick a bad habit or start a good one. If you're interested in learning how to master your emotions and hearing scientifically backed advice for using your emotions as a tool, may I suggest Shift by psychologist and bestseller author Dr. Ethan Kross? Trust me, listening on Audible can help you reach the goals you set for yourself. Start listening today when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Welcome to Text Me Back, a parasocial journey deep into the brainstems of two freaks in their 40s. I'm your host, Lindy West.
And I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays. Do you want to hear what I was going to say if I started this week?
Oh, I didn't know you had one.
No, I just thought of it.
Oh, so I sure do want to hear it, Megs.
Okay. It was the only podcast brave enough to broadcast from a moving train. And then I was going to say, I'm Thomas the Tank Engine.
And what's the name of the guy who helps the trains?
I'm George Carlin, the guy who helps the trains.
Yeah, but what's his name?
I don't know, Gary?
Okay, so we got a lot of great stuff in store for you today. This is a little bit of a special episode.
Yeah. You might have noticed that Lindy might sound a little different than usual. Mm-hmm. You might notice that many things sound different than usual on today's episode, because last week when we were at the beloved and exclusive on-air festival,
yes,
we received what we in showbiz call a goodie bag.
Yep.
And inside the goodie bag was these two tiny little microphones. They're called lav mics, which is short for lavatory.
They're short.
No,
it's short for lavatory.
Yeah.
Because you put it near your butt.
Oh, Lord. You take them to the toilet. Anyway, so we thought it would be fun to use these little mics to do some field recording. So this is our field episode.
Yep.
So you may hear someone on a train. Thomas the Tank Engine style
Choo,
and George
choo.
Carlin style. Choo choo, beep beep, toot toot. With their little microphone. We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. And we're also going to Tide because it's been 24 hours since we've seen each other. And so much, so much has happened.
Literally so much has happened. And also, by the way, we're going to tell you about our adventures at the podcast festival.
We are.
Which
in fact, where we got the tiny microphones from.
Yes, exactly. Which involve, I'm barely paying attention because I'm trying to quickly look up the name of the man from Thomas the Tank Engine before I go insane.
I was going to say, I feel like Lindy's energy is so weird right now, and I don't know what's happening.
It's because I want to know the name of the man, and it's like, I can't even find it.
It might just be engineer. He might not have a name. It might
just be engineer.
I think he might just be narrator.
Okay, never mind.
He played Mr. Conductor. He played Mr. Conductor from series 2 to 3. There, mystery solved. The name of his character. The name of the character was Mr. Conductor. Okay, let's start the show.
I gotta tell you about a little special treat that we've been chugging. It's called Magic Mind. We have been taking these babies, these little juices, for over 3 months now.
Yeah.
And frankly, Megan, I've never felt better in my life mentally.
I know. Yeah, we're really excited that they've been working with our show and sponsoring our show because I love Magic Mind. I'm like a Magic Mind evangelist now. Like you said, we've been drinking our little juicies for like 3 months now with our subscription that we got. And it's great. And I think like we've talked about this before. I feel like you're on kind of like a decaf coffee journey.
Exactly.
And I recently just discovered that coffee has kind of lost its sheen, which is kind of a bummer because I do like the little ritual of having the little coffee.
Right.
But what's nice is like having a little Magic Mind in the morning just to get your day started. Your mind magically transforms into a mind that works properly.
That's what I found.
So I like to drink mine in the morning, get my day started right, and then, write my little items for my day job, for Day Job LLC. It's great.
Magic Mind is not just a little juicy, it's a mental performance shot. And I can't think of anything more appealing to me at this point in my life now that I'm sort of barreling down on perimenopause, or it's barreling down upon me. I feel like I need any help I can get to keep the little gray cells sharp and jiggling around in there. And Magic Mind has got my medicine.
Shout out to them. So we're really excited that they are still offering a discount code for our listeners, our beautiful Text Me Backalites.
Oh yeah, you can get a subscription. You can
totally get
So it's like you can get a one-time purchase. With our coupon, it's 20% off a one-time purchase. If you like it, then you can get 48% off with a subscription. Our discount code is TextMeBack20, all caps, TextMeBack20. That's for 20% off a one-time purchase and up to 48% off subscriptions. I love the subscription, Megan, I gotta say.
I know.
Because my mind is not quite magic enough to remember to reorder the performance shots that I need. You know what I mean?
But it's really nice to have the subscription because it just comes to your door automatically. You don't even have to think about it. You get your little box of little juices. magicmind.com/textmeback. I would absolutely recommend this to a friend. And since all of you who listen are my best friend, I'm recommending it to you. It's great. And it tastes good. I feel like we don't talk about that enough. It tastes delicious. Packs a little citrus punch.
I would drink it for pleasure. Thanks, Magic Mind.
Thanks, Magic Mind.
For my mental performance. My mental performance would be nowhere without you. So
it's so true. magicmind.com/textmeback. And our code is textmeback20. Thanks, Magic Mind.
Mwah.
Okay, shall we tie it? It's been so long since I've seen you, and I don't know what you've been up to. And also last week we had to sing the tidings song ourselves, and so I just think it would behoove everyone to hear the proper version from the accursed media board.
Hit it. You know, Megan, I signed in as a civilian today, so I don't have access to the media board. Does that make you happy?
God. Yes, it does. Really happy, actually.
So this has been a very special and strange week. You and I were together for a length of time not seen since the early 2000s.
Yeah, not seen since Y2K.
Yes. We joined forces on Thursday the 19th or something.
Yep.
And then I was not parted from your side. I did not leave you for one moment until Wednesday, the 26th.
Yeah, we met up. We met up in the Big Apple, baby. Mm-hmm. New York pizza, the real city Brooklyn that pizza. Never sleeps. Real Brooklyn pizza, ay. And then we did our little song and dance at the On Air Festival. And then you came back with me on a train to DC. And you got to meet Kevin. The famous Kevin, who's a dog, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Megan's dog. Good job. Good job letting the listeners know all the characters in case they don't know all the lore. You're still welcome here.
This is the first episode of this show you've ever listened to. Kevin is my dog. He's Amish. And you got to meet Marge, and you unfortunately had to deal a little bit with the cat. But it was a lovely time. We watched a ton of Dungeons and Drag Queens. We finished up season 1 for you, and then we started watching season 2, and it was as charming as ever. I feel like then we realized that we told people we were going to start playing Dungeons and Dragons and then never did. So that's back on the docket.
Absolutely.
Gang.
I just have so much studying to do before I'm qualified to be a DM, but I'm going to do
like we could play before you have to take on the responsibilities of mastering.
They have pre-made campaigns, Megan. I want to tell the people about what we experienced at On Air Fest.
Yeah.
It was our first professional podcasting adventure. Yeah. I feel like it was very legitimizing for the show. We were invited by Ronald Young Jr., aka Big Ron, to be the guests.
AKA Professional Menace.
Professional Menace and world's #1 podcaster, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, just really quickly, he was the king of On Air Fest. Everywhere we went, people were like, is that Ronald Young Jr.? It was like being with a actual celebrity. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
And really a taste of our podcasting future, Megs, don't you think?
Absolutely.
No, we don't have the juice of Ron. Come on.
No,
but
no one does.
Ron so generously, really, he gave us our big break. If you think about it, he invited us to be on Pop Culture Debate Club. Again, we got to be on it twice in 1 month, which is amazing.
Unheard of.
He invited us to be on Pop Culture Debate Club. Then once we're we've been smuggled into the festival is like, do you also want to record an episode of your podcast while lying on this big fig mattress? And we said yes.
Absolutely.
So those were our two events. The point of the fest, I think, is for BBWs to network with each other about their podcasts.
I think they do let BBMs network also, but I don't really support that. I don't support men in business, so I don't know what they got up to, but definitely it was primarily for BBWs.
It's cute that they want to try, though. It's cute.
Yeah, it is cute.
But yeah, and I think mostly they do deals.
Yep.
And they do backroom swindles and
mix-em-ups of the highest degree.
Yes. The jinx are high and the selling of the shares is low.
Absolutely. That's what they say at business school anyway.
No, wait, buy low, jinx high. That's what I'm trying to say.
That is what they say.
So anyway, it's an event for people who know how to market themselves, do business, talk to other people, be normal, and have conversations. Your girl Meagan and I, your girl Lindy and your girl Meagan, we don't know how to do that. So
we don't do that. I think we know how.
Well,
but we don't have the interest in.
Something's holding us back. Because here's what we did. We went to one event. We went to a quote unquote VIP cocktail party, mixer meet and greet.
I think we both were like, that'll be a good one to go to.
Yeah.
Because there'll be like other people. We could chit chat.
We can
have a nice little time. We could meet other podcasters, other BBWs.
Trade tips and tricks.
Yeah. Talk about mattresses. You know, it could be anything we want.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Swap our favorite Big Fig mattress stories. Mine's recording last week's episode. But instead what happened is Meagan and I walk, first of all, it's snowing and it's 0 degrees. We're in Brooklyn. We're in Williamsburg. We walk half a block to this venue, mysterious venue. We go inside. They direct us up a secret staircase into this sort of like loft area.
Just really quick, when we first got in, what happened was we tried to check our coats, which took, for some reason, 15 full minutes.
Yep. And
then we walked over to the entrance and the lady said, just walk through the Twin Peaks hallway to the party. And then I said, I don't think I want the Garmin Bozia, ma'am.
Did you understand why was it just red?
Yes, she did. It was, the walls were red and the floor was black and white. It was not the chevron print, but it was definitely giving Black Lodge. Yes. And I was like, not the pain and sorrow at the podcast fest.
Dude, I would have taken some Garmin Bozia at the podcast fest because the snacks at this party, which we'll get to in a minute. I don't want to blow the big story, but
yeah,
we walk up the Garmin Bozia stairs.
Yes.
And we come out into this room that's sort of like a Brooklyn loft that's been turned into an event space. And I don't have an accurate head count, but based on the noise level and also the degree of my immediate overwhelm, I would say there were 4,000 to 5,000 people in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Upwards of 8 million people in one Brooklyn loft. It was crazy.
Do you know what the highest decibel is, Meagan?
Because that was the sound. Yeah. And probably infinity decibels.
Yeah. I think
would be my guess.
The DJ was playing, funky
sounds
hits at infinity plus 1 decibels.
So the DJ was doing his set. Precisely 0 people were dancing because everyone who lives in Williamsburg is way too cool to do that.
Everyone who traveled there to do a podcast festival is a dork.
Or is a dork and thought that they were going to be able to talk to someone at this event. So I'm like, I know, I immediately walk in and my first thought was, I'm 42 years old and I need to exit immediately. It was so loud. And I was like, oh God, like nothing has made me feel more golden girl than that, walking through that entrance. I was Dorothy Zabornak.
There's no Blanche on this podcast, let me tell you.
Zero Blanches.
We could really have used a Blanche, but it's one of those ecosystems where it's an industry that you and I are not really insiders of, even though we make a podcast, but we don't know the podcast people. And so you can feel everyone else in the room sort of looking around for, I guess, notable and powerful podcast people. And we are both not that, and we don't know who to look for, and we wouldn't talk to them if we saw them.
Everyone's eyes glazing over us. At just somebody's looking for Carlos podcast.
Right.
No one can find him. He's not at this. It's just like sad podcast hosts who want to network, and then like people who work at bigger companies who want to quit their jobs, I assume. I don't know, like want to go work for somebody else.
So Meagan got a glass of wine. I was immediately like, I tried to get in the drinks line and then was immediately sort of like body slammed by a business boy. So I fled. I ran to the other side of the room. I was like, never mind. I don't need my Coca-Cola. And so then we were thinking, well, at least a VIP meet and greet always has one thing going for it, and that's snacks. And
that's a little hors d'oeuvres.
Meagan said, Lindy, do you think this party has snacks? And I said, I bet it does. Let's do a circuit.
Yeah.
So then we start plowing through.
By the way, I was like, is someone going to come out with a little snacky on a plate? I see no plates, no snackies, and no little guys walking around with them. Like we had to do a whole turn of the whole loft to find anything resembling a snacky.
Mm-hmm. We were Lizzie Bennett and Mr. Darcy's mean sister taking a turn about the room.
We certainly were.
Nobody admired our fine eyes. Let me tell you that one thing for sure.
Nary a snack was to be found. And then finally you were like, Meagan, like from across the room. I found it. So I'm like, I'm starving. So I'm like, I walk over to the table thinking it's going to be, worst case scenario, charcuterie.
Yep.
And can we just go back and say this party started at 7 and we got there at 7:30?
Yep.
We find the charcuterie table. There is not but piles of deli meats. No cracker.
No cracker.
A few slices of cheese. Just the deli meat. And I said, now what happened here? In 30 minutes, this got decimated by iHeartRadio
of
employees.
Cheese only.
Yeah.
Is this a vegetarian medium?
Yeah. At first I was like, maybe it is. Like, what's happening here?
No, but then there was like one sad, it was literally like half a piece of like half a triangle of cheese that someone had ripped, tasted, and then rejected and left there.
It was like that. And then later we found one cracker. Yeah. On like a table
like
just to the left.
Table.
Yeah. And I was like, what? So what happened here was, again, somebody picked up this final cracker, inspected it and thought, I don't want to eat the last cracker, and then put it back. So there was various piles of deli meats, one cracker, and 2 triangles of cheese.
Mounds of meat, one cracker, half a piece of cheese, and then just Reggie Watts circling like a shark. Circling round and round the deli meat table.
I was like,
Reggie,
what happened to the crackers, man? Like, what the fuck happened here?
If you're Reggie Watts.
If you're Reggie Watts, can you give us a call and let us know what happened to the On Air Fest crackers? Because boy, was I hungry. I really could have used at least a cracker or 2, maybe a slice of cheese if I was feeling lucky. Before we left the hotel, we were like really gassing ourselves up to go because obviously our preference, both of us, is just to be laying down, sleeping ideally. But we're like, no, this is good. This will be good for the show. We'll walk it's only 1 block away. We'll just walk over there, get our snackies, get our beverage, and talk to somebody. It'll be so easy. And then we'll sell the podcast to Richard Millionaire.
Yep.
And he'll give us a lot of money. It was like, it's just that easy. Bing, bang, bong. And then we walk in and I was like, hello? Oh, the bass is so loud. And why is there deli meat everywhere? It was just wild. So we left after 20 minutes and we met up with Big Ron at a ramen place. And that was truly sensational. I can't say enough nice things about it. So
then we just spent the whole rest of the time following Ron around and forcing him to teach us the ways of podcasting. He did. He was like, you guys should have a structure and a tagline.
For which we immediately failed, I think. So thanks for the advice, Ron. No shade to the festival. It just was funny because I think we were like, this is going to be great. And then it was just ham.
Well, there are all these moments where I think very optimistically, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to become a different kind of person.
Yeah.
And I'm just not. I'm not the kind of person that can go to a party and talk to people, especially if it's loud and I've only had ham for dinner. You know what I mean?
If you think I took a single bite of that ham,
oh no,
I think I didn't eat any of that shit.
I need if I'm going to go to a podcast festival and I'm supposed to network, I need you to set up like speed dating for me,
I know.
where people are forced to talk to me. They're not allowed to leave for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then let me do my charm offensive
While
they're captive.
Why is there a DJ here? No offense, because he actually was playing good music. And there was one lady who I actually almost went up to her. She was the only person having fun. And she knew all the words to all the songs and she was like feeling it. And I was like, I really want to go up to her and be like, I love your energy. But then I got too bashful and then we left. But if you're her, thank you. Thank you for bringing a good vibe to the party.
Thank you. You're our favorite memory.
But otherwise, it was a lovely experience. And I would happily go back to that mattress suite any day. You know?
Oh, me too. And on Airfest, bring us again. I'm happy to host the networking speed dating event that I just invented. My fee for hosting is $200 million, courtesy of Carlos Podcast.
And a pile of ham.
Reggie Watts reclining atop a pile of ham. And I have one more mini tiding, and then I think we're going to move on to our next thing, which is that then Meagan and I, we took the train back to Washington, D.C. And then we sat around in Meagan's house and we watched Dungeons and Drag Queens while I played Balatro on my phone. And then Meagan goes, oh my God, I was only one away from getting the Wordle on the first.
Oh,
guess.
yeah. Yeah.
So Meagan had gotten 4 out of 5 letters correct on her first Wordle guess.
And this is not a spoiler now because this was now, but by the time you hear this, this will have been 2 weeks ago. But I guessed, I think, grand. And the word that day was gland. And so I was like, that was like the most exciting thing that had ever happened to me. I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. Celebrating my little Wordle and 2 victory.
You and me both. I was so excited for you. I had never seen anything so incredible. So then we go back. The energy dies down. We go back to our normal lives after Meagan's brush with fame. I'm like, well, I guess I'll do Wordle. And she didn't tell me what the word was.
No,
she just was like, I got it one off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, let's see what I get.
No clues were emitted. No clues were given explicitly or implicitly. I just was like, I got it in 2. And my first guess was 4 out of 5. It was amazing. That's all I said.
I pick up my device. I open my Wordle app. And the way that I play Wordle, I don't like to do a big game strategy. I like to just do whatever word strikes me that day. I think that's a more fun way to play.
Me too. Couldn't agree more.
You guys are going to think that this is fucking bullshit. I open my Wordle app. I let the spirit take me. I type in the word gland.
Unbelievable.
I think, oh, ha, ha, ha. Wouldn't it be funny if I also got, 4 out of 5 right on the first try or whatever? These letters start turning green. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
I mean, once you get to GLA, you know you're going to get it because what else could it be? There's no other word like that it could, you know what I mean? It's so crazy.
I felt like I had just jumped out of a plane. I felt this was like the thrill. It was a thrill, the likes of which I've never experienced in my life. But my heart was shot out the top of my head. I couldn't believe that this was happening. I screamed. The dogs started to scream.
Well, at first, I wasn't sure what was going on because you just went, oh my God. And I was like, what happened? What celebrity has passed away? What beloved
is it? The
figure from our what beloved figure from our youth, shall we say, has passed away? And it was no one. It was Lindy getting Wordle in 1. It was so exciting. And I've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like it. And to me, I want to say that I don't think I did it alone. I am starting to believe in ghosts. I think on some level, especially after Meagan and I have just spent truly 97 hours straight in each other's company, I think
becoming
Meagan
one
telepathically gifted it to me.
Yeah. Or my condo ghost was like, gland.
Also, a humiliating word to get on one guess, because why did I put in gland? And then everyone in my Wordle group, group chat was like, you're perverted. I don't know why I put in gland.
Well, it is kind of giving I'm a pig woman. Yeah. My first guess word is gland.
Yeah, it's repulsive. And,
which is what makes it so good.
Yep. I wanted to get it in 1 on a beautiful word like horse.
Sure. And you were close to getting it on horse, no? Or that used to be your guess word?
Previously, that was my biggest brush with fame was when usually I would start with the word horse because I love horses. One day I decided not to, and I did something else, and then that day it was horse.
Ugh, you hate to see it.
I know. So anyway, that was my tiding. Please send me accolades, letters, trophies, and flowers because I've achieved the impossible. I got Wordle in one, and the word was bland.
Congrats.
Yeah.
And those are all of our tidings. It was a great week, and we had a lot of fun. And you should watch Dungeons and Drag Queens. You'll love it. You really will love it. And you should let us know if you ever got Wordle in one.
Yep.
If you ever got Wordle, there's no way for us to verify if it's true or not, so you could lie. I would never know. But tell us what word it was if you did, if you got it on one.
Penis. Yeah. Up next, field reporting.
Ugh. God, gross. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you all about our little field reporting, and you'll enjoy it.
What?
I don't know. All right. So like we've been, for some reason, foreshadowing for 45 minutes on this podcast, we got these tiny little microphones and we just thought it would be funny to do some on the street, text me back.
Yeah.
Reporting, journalism.
Record some tiny little stories.
Yeah, some little stories. And so we did.
That's right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about it and what the people are about to hear? Because I have not heard any of it yet.
I know. So I have been experiencing an adventure. That's right, Meagan. I'm taking myself on a grand adventure. And it's not only to do with the fact that I am not feeling super hot about planes. It's also because I wanted to. So I am, instead of flying home from the podcast festival, I decided it was only like a couple extra $100 to take the Amtrak all the way home in 2 legs, DC to Chicago, which is where I am now, and then Chicago to Seattle. So I've already completed my first 24-hour leg.
Exciting.
That's right.
It was Lindy and Mr. Conductor having a wonderful time in the roomette.
It was me and Mr. Conductor. His name was Wayne, and he was so nice. Because it's very intimate, actually, to live in a train. So, like, the porters have to live in the train, too. And so, like, Wayne comes in at, like, he knocks on my door at, like, 8:30. And it's like he's my housemate. You know what I mean? We have like a communal bathroom, communal shower. And Wayne's like, what time do you want me to set up your bed? Because it involves engineering to turn the chair into a bed. And I was like, oh, I don't know. What time is best for you? And he was like, well, I got to go to bed myself at some point. And I was like, yeah, of course, Wayne. And I was like, how about 9? And he was like, okay, great. I'll come back at 9. So it's like, it's kind of like, Wayne's my friend. I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Wayne's my friend. So, and Wayne, by the way, is played by Ringo Starr. And halfway through, he switched to George Carlin, but might have been the other way around.
It's fine.
Anyway, I have now lived 24 hours on a train. I freaking loved it. You're going to hear about it in 1 second in a few little special field recordings. We're calling Lindy's on a Train.
Choo choo.
I hope you enjoy.
And toot toot.
Good morning, listeners. Reporting from the train. I had, all in all, a nice night. The bed is not wide. And you might be asking yourself, but Lindy, you are wide. How did that work? Well, it worked okay. The bed itself was not uncomfortable. It was just sort of the size of like a large skateboard. But eventually I got into a rhythm and figured out how to be comfortable. And I slept pretty well. I liked it. I don't know. It felt like when you're a little kid and you fall asleep in the car while your parents are driving home from a
Christmas party or something. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like, I'm not in charge here. Someone's taking care of me. And his name's Wayne, and he's the porter. So that was nice. Well, and I suppose the train captain, the engineer, but I haven't met him. And I don't know his name or her name. Women can drive trains too. Now I am passing through Lafayette, Indiana, the birthplace of Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. It's, obviously I'm not getting to know ins and outs, the deep truth of Lafayette, Indiana. I am only seeing what's right next to the train tracks. But it's not that nice. Newsflash. It's not that nice. But there's probably some nice stuff. Wow. Just passing by the most haunted tiny cemetery with like 9 graves. Very haunted, very spooky. Indiana is giving spooky all the way. Indiana really brings the spooky. And that's not a compliment. But on the other hand, Axl Rose. I've passed a lot of little country cemeteries and also big city cemeteries on this train. I guess the train can't wake the dead people, so they put the tracks near their coffins. Anyway, I can't stop thinking about the logistics of burying people in cemeteries. How do we still have space in the cemeteries anywhere in the whole world? Because people are dying every day and you have to have a place to dig a hole and put their coffin? I just don't understand. You can still go in 2025 to a cemetery and reserve a room in the ground? That doesn't seem right. Do you think that people got really into being cremated? Because I feel like now, I don't know anyone that's like, yes, I want to be buried. I want to be embalmed and put in a satin-lined coffin and buried in a cemetery. And do you think that was like psyop by some kind of big cemetery to get people to stop filling up all the cemeteries? Was there a push for cremation because the cemeteries are full? This is a real question. If you know the answer, let me know. Over and out. In a few hours, I will be arriving in Chicago. And what will be in store for me there? Who can say? I did read on Reddit that this train in particular has this weird shelf that sticks out under the window that you cannot fold down or remove. And so that takes up a good 6 inches of the bed space and was indeed the cause of all my problems last night. So if the next train doesn't have a weird shelf, then that's a 10 out of 10 for fat people, baby. Thank you. Now passing the Tippecanoe battlefield, and it's reminding me that, I just saw Tyler the Wizard yesterday, and when we were in high school, my dad would always say, Tippecanoe and Tyler too, whenever Tyler came over, which was the campaign slogan for 10th President John Tyler. Ask me how I know that. It's because I memorized the rap of the presidents in 3rd grade. Thank you. Excuse me, slight correction. It was the campaign slogan for the campaign of William Henry Harrison, the 9th president, and his running mate, John Tyler, who then became the 10th president. Very sorry. And also sorry I said Benjamin Harrison. It's only 7 a.m. and I slept on a skateboard. Thank you. Oh, and also William Henry Harrison was nicknamed Tippecanoe because he was known as the hero of Tippecanoe, which was the Battle of Tippecanoe, which was a battle where white people were being evil. But they didn't exactly win. And at the end, the indigenous people came back and they dug up all of the white people's bodies and they threw them around. So, Tippy Canoe and Tyler too.
So those are my field tidings, my field recordings from the train. Shout out to Wayne. Now I'm about to embark on the greatest adventure of all, which is 48 hours living in the train from Chicago to Seattle, across the snowy plains of Montana, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Minnesota, a little bit of Idaho, and then Eastern Washington.
And for the record, what you're about to hear, Lindy hasn't even
I haven't done
heard
it
yet.
Yes.
So it's a mystery to everyone at this
Could
moment.
just be 48 hours of me crying. We'll see.
Her phone might break, and then we will have made a lot of big promises that we can't deliver on. And that's the text me back guarantee. Okay.
You know what we need a jingle for is the text me back guarantee
Yeah, we do.
that we play every time we talk about
we
the text me
do.
back guarantee.
Will be the most used jingle.
Yeah.
Of all the jingles. Well, enjoy this little snippet from Lindy's journey. And I guess we'll find out who the new Mr. Conductor is.
I know. I can't
from
wait
Chicago
to find out.
Seattle. I can't wait to find out either.
I mean,
this is like a really fun. This is a fun cliffhanger for both of us.
I know.
This is kind of fun. We like created a mystery for ourselves.
So TBD. Stay
You're
tuned.
gonna find out in 3, 2, 1. Train.
I am back on the train. This time, I'm riding in a double-decker superliner train on the Empire Builder line, going from Chicago to Seattle, Washington. I think that this room is better than the first room. I still have loyalty to the last car because that's the car that I know, but this car and I are getting to know each other, and I think it's going to be a special relationship. I hope so, because we're going to be together for the next 48 hours. I will report back about many things, such as the bathroom situation. What's that going to be like? I don't know. And what's for dinner? All in all, though, I can tell that this bed is wider than the last bed. And I think that I'm going to thrive in this car. Okay, bye. I text me back lights. It's 10:38 p.m. I'm on the Empire Builder train. I'm just passing through Minneapolis, St. Paul, heading toward North Dakota. And I have food poisoning, so been spending a lot of time in the train bathroom, which, lucky for me, is exactly the width of my hips and thighs. So I love to be in there. I don't feel good. And that's not my goal for the day, to not feel good, you know? On the train for 48 hours. I don't want to name names about what food has done this to me, attacked me in my own home, where I'm most vulnerable and at peace. But I think you know who you are. And I think your name is Shrimp, that was served on a train. Anyway, this may be my final field recording if I die in the night of shrimp, train shrimp. I don't feel good. However, I do think that I have gotten through the first and most dire wave, and I didn't throw up. That feels like a triumph, and I think that this is a very intense but brief strain of shrimp germ that is ravaging my insides at a rapid pace, but also exiting at a rapid pace. And so my fondest wish is that I wake up alive in the morning in Minot, North Dakota, feeling fresh-footed and fancy-tailed. What the fuck is the expression? Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, fresh-faced and fancy-free. That was not a bit. That was real. I didn't do it for the field recording. What did I say? Fresh-footed and fancy-faced and fresh-footed? That was good. We should change it. Economize. Combine the two into one. Oh, I don't feel good. I think I'm making a pledge to myself that I'm not going to go to the bathroom anymore tonight. I'm tired of it. I think I'm past the emergency stage. So, okay, that's done. I'm going to get into the bed. I'm going to watch Antiques Roadshow on my laptop. And I'm going to sleep. And my body, all my little cells, are going to work. Chomp, 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 as Meagan would say, all night long. And they're going to fix all the buggies that I've got on my insides. And then in the morning, I will wake up in Minot, the land of my ancestors. Well, one generation of them. Well, they're still alive. I guess that's not an ancestor. The land of my great aunt. And I will be healed. And the whole train will say she is risen. And they'll give me a round of applause. Okay. So that's my field recording for the night. I wish I had better news for you. But fortunately, it's funny to get food poisoning on a train that you have to live on for 48 hours where you don't fit in the bathroom. So everything's content, ladies and germs. Except I take it back. This story's not for germs who are mean and have bad attitudes. And germs are pubes. Okay, you'll be hearing from me soon. Thank you. I love you. Well, I have a field reporting update for you. I threw up. Yay. It's 12:30 at night. And I woke up and then I vomited aggressively into the little trash can. And also a little bit everywhere else. And then, as it was happening, feel free to skip ahead if you don't want to hear about this. I experienced a rite of passage that I'd only heard about in old wives' tales, which is that I puked so hard in the garbage that I shit my pants just a little. I mean, actually, I don't know how to quantify it. An unpleasant amount. An amount that I had to take a shower and throw away my clothes. So then I took a shower in the train shower. And that was small. Now I'm back in my room. I wiped everything down with baby wipes. I threw away the trash can full of barf. And now I'm lying down. I would literally commit homicide for a Sprite. But it seems like there's no way to call anyone because the crew is sleeping, as they should be. And a little train engineer went by up the hallway while I was sitting on the edge of the bed, wishing for Sprite, praying for Sprite. And I said, "Oh my God, hi, I have food poisoning. I just need some clean towels." He's like, "I don't know where any of that is." I was like, "Okay, you're not a person I can ask about that." And he was like, I don't know. And then he just left. He didn't say, "Sorry, you're sick." Can you imagine someone telling you they have food poisoning and then you saying nothing? Anyway, I'm going to try hitting my call button again and see what happens. I'll report back. It's finally morning. It's 6:45. We're moving through North Dakota, and I finally just got my Sprite. So I'm going to have my first sip of the Sprite right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. I hope this doesn't make me throw up because it is so good. I feel like it's giving me my life back. Remains to be seen. I'll report back. Goodbye. Welcome to Field Recordings. Day X. I don't know. It's the morning after I ate the train shrimp. I feel like we're in the last throes of the diarrhea lifestyle. I don't think there's more puking on my horizon, and the future looks bright. I am kind of out of underwear, but that's not really true. It's just that I have to go down to the baggage compartment and find my bag and dig through it, which I don't want to do because it's far and I don't feel good. So it remains to be seen what our intrepid heroine will do with her ass today. Oh, and my period started. So why not? Why not? Why not? I mean, what's one more fluid? I was telling Megan about this and she said it's like that Margaret Cho joke that if you shit your pants, there's only one thing to do, which is call everyone you know and tell them you shit your pants. And I've never shit my pants before. It's never happened. All my life, I have wondered why people talk about shitting their pants so much as though this is a thing that happens all the time. Like, I was always like, am I the only person on earth who has never shit her pants? Are other people shitting their pants constantly? Because that's how people talk about it. I've always been like, what's going on? But now I've joined the ranks. And also, I'm kind of not in a bad mood about it. Like, I would absolutely do a long train journey again. If you're my size or larger, I might caution against it. The bathroom is really challenging. And maybe don't eat the food. Anyway, Amtrak, please don't sue. In fact, I should sue you. But I'm not going to because I'm still having the time of my life. Thank you. Lindy out. All right, it's now 12:49 in the afternoon. We are traversing eastern Montana. I have not had any incidents in several hours. However, even just because you're not throwing up anymore doesn't mean that you feel good. Because now I have what's called my head hurts and I'm tired. I thought I'd bring you all along with me on something I'm calling the try to eat one potato chip challenge. Because I'm in that part of the recovery where I can't tell if I feel sick because I need electrolytes or because I'm still sick. You know what I mean? And like, I've been drinking just bottles of water, but you need some salt, So I asked the train attendants for a new Sprite and also if they had any like plain potato chips. And she was like, well, there's chips that come with the hot dog. You could order the hot dog. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want a hot dog. Can I just have the chips? And then she was like, and I was like, okay, can you order me the hot dog, but then throw it away? Can you throw the hot dog out the window or give it to someone? What I'm saying is that under no circumstances can a hot dog enter this room, or else, due to what happened to my ass, I will die. And anyway, then she came back with a cute little bowl of chips on a tray. In like a little bowl covered in foil and the Sprite. So I'm going to try to eat one chip. It's called the Try to Eat One Chip Challenge. Try to eat one plain potato chip challenge. I'm going to take you all with me on the ride. I'm going to pick a small one. Okay, I picked a tiny, tiny little one. Okay. It smells fine. The smell doesn't make me recoil. I'm munching it. Okay. That went fine. My stomach didn't flip over. I didn't barf. I'm going to take that as a win. I think things are starting to look up for old Lindy. Lest you think This was souring me on the experience because I feel like people love to be condescending, like, oh, you think it would be romantic to take a long distance train trip, but will you try actually doing it? I did try it, and I did love it, except for the part when I got sick, but that wasn't the train's fault. I mean, it was the train's fault, but it wasn't the train's fault. You know what I mean? Okay, over and out. Guess what? Guess who's better? It's me. I'm alive. I made it. I healed. I slept for about 12 hours. I woke up just outside Spokane, Washington, feeling like $1 billion. Well, no, $100. But now I'm almost home. I just want to check in, let you all know that I survived. But then I'm sitting here eating my gushers, my first meal post food poisoning. The man comes on the PA system. He goes, hey, this is Josh from the dining car. And I'm like, why is Josh on the PA? The dining car closed half an hour ago. And then he goes, we have a very special treat for you all. And I'm like, okay, I guess they decided to reopen to give us all a treat. None for me, thanks, but that's very cute of you, I guess. And then he's like, one of your fellow passengers. And then I'm like, one of our fellow passengers has brought us a treat? He goes, one of your fellow passengers is going to play the harmonica for you. So here's Jacob. And then, indeed, Jacob plays You Are My Sunshine on the harmonica over the PA. And then no one says anything, it just stops at the end. So, a fine start to my post-food poisoning life. I have been reborn and called back into life by the beautiful song of Jacob.
Well, Mr. Conductor, another great episode. I loved listening to what you just played for us, which I have heard and enjoyed.
We sure had a time, didn't we? Me and Mr. Conductor.
We certainly did. We certainly know what happened and are enriched as a result.
So we hope you enjoyed our little foray into the field. And we sure enjoyed making it. I can't wait to do some more projects with that tiny microphone.
Yeah.
It's cute as a button. And it's been fun to get out there into the world and do a little freestyle stuff, you know?
Yeah, and it was fun to do stuff together, me and you, and together in person, because we are almost never together. So it was nice to have a couple of recording moments where we actually were physically proximate.
And I do think that we make a magic sauce when we're together. I think like
so too.
The energy in the air becomes different. And so we're going
to say
we did have a funny joke, I thought, which was because that we should have done this on the first day that we saw each other instead of after 9 days of constant contact, because we were really funny at the beginning, and then by the end
the riffs were hot on day one.
By the end it devolves.
Well, by the end it just turns into, echolalia, hyperfixation on one word. Right. So somebody will just say something, and then one of us will just say parentheses sexual. Right. And that's all. That was the only word anyone was saying by the end of it was sexual.
It turns into bog twin language.
Yeah, it's not good.
For sure.
No, my husband loved it, and he misses you a great deal. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed the show. Let us know what you think of, unless you have a negative reaction to the tiny mics. If you do, please don't tell me. I'm very fragile. But if you liked it, leave us a review. 5 stars, please.
Yep.
And you know what would be so helpful? We were talking about this when we were together. Is if you could go ahead and tell your friends to listen to our show, and ideally subscribe to our Patreon ? Patreon.com/textmebackpod. You know how when you go to like political rallies and they say call 5 friends? I'm telling you to do that. But instead, to save our democracy, I would love for you to save our podcast.
Yeah. You could just tack it on to the end of making your 5 phone calls to your representatives.
Yeah. Right.
Do your 5 calls for democracy, then do your 5 calls for Text Me Back.
Yeah, it's really easy. Do we have an app for that? No, we don't. But just if you could just go ahead and text 5 people, and then if you could like hound them like really uncomfortably for like days afterwards, and then force them to debrief episodes with you so you can really prove that they've been listening, that'd be super cool. Thanks.
Also, I think we do have an app for that. It's called your top callers in your phone. It's
called your phone contacts.
Your top 9 in your contacts. That's that.
Yeah, we developed an app. It's called Contacts.
Yeah.
And if you could just go ahead and open that.
And we have a phone number. It's called 1-800-CONTACTS.
1-800-CONTACTS, where you can evangelize about the Text Me Back podcast.
Call 1-800-CONTACTS, and whoever answers, you tell them about Text Me Back podcast.
You tell them it's a couple of BBWs having a great time. Parentheses, sexual.
They're gonna love it.
They're gonna love it.
Okay,
and you're
thanks.
they might send you some glasses. I don't know. It'll be fun. But thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week. Who knows what's gonna happen then?
It'll probably be a normal episode recorded in a stationary manner, not on a moving train.
Not on a moving train.
Unfortunately.
Thanks, listeners.
We love ya.
Mwah!
Thank you so much for listening to Text Me Back. If you like the show, please tell your best friend about us. Be sure to rate and review us. It helps people find the show. And most importantly, please support our Patreon so we can keep making this. It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Text Me Back is a production of Megan and Lindy, proud members of the BFF Network. Our senior producer is Megan Hatcher-Mays. Our other senior producer is me. Our show is supported by Co-Pilot Collective and produced by Allie Slice. Our digital strategist is Chance Nichols.
Diana Bowen is our video and creative wizard. Our production team includes Lindy West, Megan Hatcher-Mays, our loves, our anxieties, and our fears.
Our music is by Chief Ahamefule J. Oluo.
Special thanks to our perfect angels, Jeannie Yandel, Brandy Fullwood, and Isolde Raftery.
I'm Lindy West.
And I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays. See you next week. Mwah!